Welcome to the channel where cats are the true stars. Here you'll hear stories filled with comedy, drama, and the kind of chaos only a cat can create. Every tale is told with humor and a touch of irony, because with cats, the unbelievable is just normal. So sit back, relax, and find out what your cat might be plotting right now.
The Christmas night, when everything slowed down. Christmas Eve began like so many others. The house was tidy. The tree had been lit since late afternoon, and there was that strange feeling that everything important had already happened, and now there was nothing left to do but wait. The cats moved through the house with an unusual calm. No running, no impatient meows, just soft steps and long, attentive looks, as if they too sensed that this night was different. I sat down on the couch without much intention. I didn't turn on the TV. I didn't pick up my phone. I stayed there, listening to the small sounds of the house, the heater clicking on and off, the distant clock, the faint creak of wood settling. One of them approached first. He jumped onto the couch and sat beside me, not on top of me, just close enough for our sides to touch. The other took longer. He watched from a distance, assessed the situation, and only then joined us, settling between my legs. It all felt so natural I almost didn't notice it happening. The purring started slowly, like an old engine warming up. The vibration passed through the blanket, into my chest, and suddenly the room felt smaller, not from lack of space, but from an abundance of presence. I stayed completely still, aware of every breath. Every tiny movement felt too important to waste. That's when memory did what it always does when the night becomes too quiet. It started to speak. I thought about past Christmases, about people who were no longer here, about changes that arrived without asking permission, about everything the year had taken, little by little, without warning. And then I felt it. One of the cats lifted his head and rested his forehead against my hand. He wasn't asking for attention. He wasn't demanding anything. He simply placed it there, with absolute trust, as if he knew exactly where he needed to be. The other responded differently. He stretched out slowly until his entire body pressed against my side. Heavy, warm, real. The purring grew deeper, steadier. That was the moment something gave way. No grand thoughts, just a tight knot in my chest finally loosening. There, in that living room, lit only by the Christmas tree, with two cats breathing alongside me, I realized something simple and powerful. I wasn't alone, not in the way that truly matters. Time stopped meaning anything. Minutes passed like seconds, or maybe hours. I don't know. I only know I stayed there, fully present, without the past weighing on me, without the future demanding anything. The tree was still glowing, but it no longer felt like decoration. It was just light, presence, and quiet company. When I finally stood up to go to bed, I moved carefully, almost in slow motion. One cat opened an eye, evaluated the situation, and decided I was allowed to leave. The other sighed. That deep, content sigh only cat owners recognize. Before turning off the last light, I looked back one final time. They were there, together, cone, safe. And in that moment, I understood the true climax of the night. It wasn't joy. It wasn't excitement. It was peace. And sometimes, on Christmas Eve, that's everything.
And that's the end of another feline adventure full of surprises. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone who also has a cat, because we all know these little felines are always plotting their next mischief. See you in the next story.